phonics time now, and Pip is still with us. I'm checking that we are doing our best listening and our best learning. So let's keep it up for this session. So we're going to start off our phonics session just like we do when we're at school. We're going to review and recap the sounds that we have already learnt. So we're just going to do the digraphs, the trigraphs, and the split digraphs. So let's see how many of them you can remember. So let's start off with this one. Blue, glue, ooh. Stub my toe, oh. Okay, now this is the one that you learnt with Mrs. Thornton last week, and it is round the earth, and we've got z, s, whirl and twirl, Okay, now remember this one from last week, it can be one of two sounds. And this one is E, so stop thief E, and then the other one is nice tie I. Okay, so O, E, smelly, Pirate Pete has smelly feet. I, nice smile I. A, make a cake A. Chew the stew, ooh. Blow the snow, oh, or it can make another sound, which is ow, brown cow, ow. Ooh, huge brute, ooh. May I play A? Cup of tea, E. Now this one could be three. Remember, it could be happy chappy E, or I, as in the word fly. Sh, ch, O, A, R, oi, and here comes ow, brown cow, ow, E, oo, down, starting to drop them a little bit, ng, or, I, air, good, that's not fair, air, and then can you remember this one from the other day? Good, that one's air as well. So care and share, air. Now, before we move on, let's use those digraphs and trigraphs, and let's have a go at reading some real words and alien words again. All right, so remember, thumbs up if you think they are real words, thumbs down if you think they are made up words. So let's start off with this one, and let's sound it out together. So we've got z, oo, b. Zoob. What do you think? Is that a real word or a made up? A real word or a made up word? Yeah, it's an alien word, isn't it? It's made up. Okay, let's try this one. There's a digraph at the start. So ch, a, ng. Chang. What do you think? Real or made up? Yeah, that one's made up as well. It's an alien word. Let's try this one. It. Exit. Okay, yeah, that one's a real word. Now, what does exit mean? Yeah, exit means to leave. So you might have a fire exit, which is the door that you go out of. Okay, let's try this one. Digraph in the middle. Woo, ate, wait. Yeah, that one's a real word. Well done. And then the last one, very similar, but there's just an extra digraph at the end. So, woo, ate, waiter. Good. Now, do you know what a waiter is? Yeah, that's right. A waiter, if you ever go out for dinner or lunch or anything like that, a waiter is somebody who comes to serve you and bring you your food. Okay, so yesterday we learnt a new way of making the air sound, because we know this one. This is one that we learnt in reception. So that's not fair, air. Okay, in reception, the action was this, wasn't it? The air around us. So that's not fair, air. And then yesterday, we learnt another one with the A, R, and the E, the trigraph. And that one was care and share, air. Now there's one more way of making the air sound. Now you might have picked up on this when you've been thinking about our story for this week, because our story, as you know, is Can't You Sleep, Little Bear. Bear. Now if we sound out the word bear, we get b-air, bear. So we know that there is the air sound in the word bear. Now, for bear as in a big brown bear or an animal that's a bear, we don't use that's not fair air, and we don't use care and share air either. We use this one, which is great big bear air. And this one is the E, the A, and the R. Now we've seen this before, haven't we? Because we know that when we have an E, an A, and an R, it can make the sound ear. Hear with your ear, ear. And just like you learned last week as well, when you have an E, an A, and an R, it can make the sound, like around the earth, but it can also make the air sound. Great big bear air. So using the great big bear air sound, I would like you on a piece of paper to have a go at writing the word bear to start with. So sound it out, b-air, bear, using great big bear air sound. And whilst you do that, I'm going to do it on my whiteboard as well. And I'm going to put the sound buttons in on mine. Okay, so bear, b-air, bear. Okay, so have a go at writing this one. Have a go at writing the word wear. I need to wear my school uniform at school. So wear. And it has got the great big bear air sound in it. So wear, air, wear. So let me write it down as well. Okay, we only needed to change one letter on it, didn't we? We just needed to change that first letter from a B into a U. Okay, next one. Have a go at writing the word tear. Tear. Again, we just need to change that first sound. So air, tear. Tear. I had a tear on my coat. Tear. Okay, have you done that one? Okay, I'll show you mine. There we go. And the next one, pair. Now, there's two ways of making the word pair. There is a pair of socks when you have two of something, or a pair of eyes, or a pair of shoes. Or there is a pear, like the fruit, the pear that you eat. So when we use great big bear air for the word pear, it's like the fruit, pear. So have a go at writing that for me. Pear. Pear. Okay, so does yours look the same as mine? Air, pear. Okay, well done. So that's just 4 different words that have got the great big bear air sound in them. Now, I've said earlier on that there are different ways of saying the sounds and different ways of different sounds that the trigraphs make. So we're going to play a little bit of a game now. All right, now I'm going to say a word, or I'm going to write a word down on my board, and you have to work out and see if you can figure out how to say the sound. I'm going to underline the trigraph in the middle, okay? And it's going to be the E, the A, and the R. Now, in some of the words, it's going to make the sound, like around the earth, In some of the words, it's going to make the ear sound. So here with your ear, ear. And then in some of the words, it's going to be the air sound, like in great big bear. So what you need to do is you need to read the word and you have to read it using each of those sounds. And you have to decide, does it make the ear sound? Does it make the sound? Or does it make the air sound? Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so the first word I'm going to write down is this one. So does this make an ear, an or an air sound? So have a good look at it. Is that the word is it the word ear, or is it the word air? What do you think? Tell a grown up, or just have a think to yourself? Okay, well done. Now this word is the word hear. So when you've got the E, the A, and the R, it makes the ear sound in this word. All right, well done. Next one is this one. So does it make the air? Does it make the or does it make the ear? Is that all of them? Sound. So there's two digraphs. So is it earth? Is it earth? Or is it earth? Which one do you think? Okay, well done. Yeah, this one is earth. It's earth, earth, and it's round the earth. Well done if you got that one right. Let's try another one. Let's do this one. So exactly the same. Is it going to make the sound? Is it going to make the ear sound? Or is it going to make the air sound? So have a good look. Discuss it with a grown-up if you need to. So is it spur? Is it the word ear, spear? Or is it the word air, spare? What do you think? Okay, so the word spear and the word spare are both real words, aren't they? Now we know that the word spare, like I have a spare tyre in my car, we know that that's not how we spell it. So we know then that this word that I've written on the board is the word spear. Spear, so ear. And it's a really tricky way to read, isn't it? When we learn to read, we have a really hard job because there are lots of trigraphs and digraphs like this that try to trick us. And lots of the time there's no rule. You just have to try each one and decide what you think the word is. So when you come across a word in your reading books and you're not quite sure what it says, you sound it out, don't you? So exactly the same way, that's what you need to do when you come across a word with one of these digraphs or trigraphs in, is you have to try out each one and decide which one you think it is, which one makes the most sense. Okay, so let's go back to great big bear air. Now, with that one, with care and share air, with that's not fair air, I said on yesterday that there's no rule. There isn't a rule that tells us that we need to use this one or this one or this one. But a lot of the words that have the air sound in, like I said, use care and share air. But there are some other words that do try and trick us that use these versions of that sound. Okay, so we just have to try our best and we just have to learn them as time goes on. But we're still focusing on Great Big Bear Air for today, and we're going to have a go at writing a sentence. And the sentence that I would like you to have a go at writing is, Big Bear had a tear in his jumper. Now, before you have a go at writing this, Big Bear is from our story, and Big Bear is his name. Both of those are his name, Big and Bear. So when we write somebody's name, what do we have to remember? That's right, we have to use a capital letter. So you need to use a capital letter for the word big. You need to use a capital letter for the word bear as well. So Big Bear had a tear in his jumper. Okay, so let me find a little bit of blue tack, and I am going to stick this on the board underneath here, and hopefully you can see that just about with the light shining on it. But I want you to have a go at writing that sentence. Big Bear had a tear in his jumper. 8 words in that sentence. So what you might want to do is you might want to pause the video while you have a go at doing that, and then come back and we will write it all together. So Big Bear had a tear in his jumper. Off you go, pause the video. Okay, well done for having a go at that sentence. Quite a long sentence, 8 words in it. So Big Bear had a tear in his jumper. So just like before, I'm going to use this as I write my sentence. So let me put that underneath there just to remind you and just to remind me. So Big Bear, I said and I reminded you that Big Bear is his name. So we're going to need to use a capital letter. So the word big, let's sound it out together. B-I-G, big. So you might not be able to see it because the light's shining on the board, but I need you to help me sound out. So B-I-G, big. And I've started on this side of my line. I'm going to go across, just like we do when we do any writing. So Big Bear. So let's sound out the word bear. B-air, bear. And we're going to use this way of making the air sound. Now, Bear is part of his name as well, just like the word miss and the word Trevor. They both need capital letters because they are both part of my name. So just like Big Bear, they both need capital letters. So Big Bear. Now remember my finger space, so well done me. And now I need to use another one before I write my next word. So Big Bear had. Sound it out. Ad, had. So, you might not be able to see, you might be able to. Ad. Big Bear had. Now I've run out of room, so I'm going to come underneath here. So we all know how to do the word So Big Bear had a tear. So let's sound out the word tear. T-air, tear. Okay, and we're going to use this way of making the air sound. So air, finger space, starting with a T. Air. Big Bear had a tear in. So finger space, sound out the word in as I write it. Well done. In. In. And can you do the same? Can you sound out the word his for me as I write it down? Is. Well done you. So Big Bear had a tear in his jumper. So jumper. What sound does jumper start with? Yeah, that's right. It starts with a J. Now I've run out of room, so I'm going to come under here and we're going to do a J. What comes after jumper? Jumper. Yeah, well done. It is an jump. Okay, yeah, it's a jump. Good, it's a p. And then what goes at the end? Jump. Good, it's the sound. And I'm going to remember my full stop today without Pip and without you reminding me. So Big Bear had a tear in his jumper. Now, just before we finish this session, I would like you on your sentence to underline where the air sounds are. So whereabouts in your sentence have you written the big brown bear air sound? Just underline them for me. And I'm going to do the same. Okay, so you should have underlined the word bear, so b, air, and you should have underlined the air sound in the word tear. So Big Bear had a tear in his jumper. Okay, so well done to you. So don't forget those 3 different ways of making the air sound. If I just get some more blue tack. So 3 different ways. Big brown bear. Whoops. That's not fair. Air. And what was the last one? Care and share. Air as well. So let's put that one up there. So all 3 ways of making the air sound. So don't forget them because we're going to keep going over them. But super session today. Well done, everybody.